So I was watching Schindler's List today. You wanted me back, man. This is what I got. I was watching Schindler's List. It's funny because Schindler's List, when it came out, was this moment, you know? It was a document and everybody talked about it. Now it's just on. It's just on TBS. And you can just flip on by, the Jews and all that, okay. And then you flip this way and you see Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron switch bodies. And that way is Hitler and the Jews and all that. It's just... I was watching Schindler's List, and there was a scene that really, I forgot about this scene, and there I saw it. There's a scene where all the Jews are being let out of Warsaw. They're being forced out of Warsaw. They got all their belongings on this road, and all the people that aren't Jews are watching them leave in nice clothing. It's this horrible. And there's a little girl in this scene, and she's standing on a mailbox. She's about 8 years old, and she's in a pretty dress. You remember this scene? And she's watching them. She's going, "Goodbye, Jews! Goodbye, Jews!" And this really struck me, and probably the Jews too, that it happened to, because I think it must be real. There must have been that girl, and when they researched the movie, somebody told Spielberg that story, and he was like, "We're fucking doing that." That's amazing. And because I know how movies are made, I know that they had to go and find an 8-year-old girl who could nail that shit. So somewhere there's a tape of like 50 little girls trying to get the "goodbye Jews" part. And they're all cute, of course. They're all little girl actors. There's no little girl actresses that are like Sean Penn. I just do my thing, They're going from the Hannah Montana audition to the "Goodbye Jews" thing, taking their turn. "Hi, my name's Dorothy. I'm with William Morris." "All right, Dorothy, go ahead." "Goodbye, Jews." "Goodbye, Jews." Dorothy, you're angry at them. "Oh, I'm okay." "Goodbye, Jews." "Goodbye, Jews." Okay, thank you, Dorothy. Next. "Goodbye, Jews. Goodbye, Jews. Goodbye, Jews." Okay, thank you very much. Next. And then comes the girl whose mother prepared her for the, "Hi, my name is Angeline, and I'm with CAA, and I'm really happy to meet you. The sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow." "Angeline, we just need the line." "Oh, I'm sorry." "Goodbye, Jews! Goodbye, Jews!" The thing that she's usually mad about is simple. She says that I don't listen to her when she's talking. And I don't. But it's not because I don't love her, blah, blah, blah. It's because I try to listen. I really do. When she talks, I just stare at her face. I'm like, come on, bring the story. But somehow I'm like, what the I can't do it. I tried. Because every story gets divided into 50 stories that all branch out into these crazy, and I'm like, holy shit. I've got ADD, I can't do it. I'm like, fucking please. But I try every time I try because I love this retarded woman, so I try really hard to listen to her stories. Other people don't even try. We go to parties, she starts talking, people just walk away like, fuck this, that lady's crazy. Who would waste time listening to that crap? Me. She can't help it. I really feel bad for her because the thing is that every word of the story gets her so excited that she wants to fucking run with it, and she can't fucking just break through and get to the end or even the beginning. This is my wife telling a story. She's like, guess what happened to my mom today? You remember I told you my mom how when she was in college, not when she went to Michigan, when she transferred. Remember because that guy got weird and she had to leave because he was not the Iranian guy. That was a different story. That guy, I think he was Persian. I heard that Persia actually split. What the fuck are you talking about? Jesus Christ! Pick a thing! Have some consideration for the fucking listener.
Don't get to precede your shows with a soliloquy about the context.
I really am a naive 8-year-old.
You know what I mean? It's like every time I've edited, when you put together, but it's a good question because when you put together shows, whenever I've edited something with someone else, one of the reasons I love doing my show is that I edit it myself, because when you edit with somebody and they're doing something that's not working, and you go, or when somebody shows me something of theirs, like if I have a friend who's doing a TV show and they show me a cut of it, and I go, this part was confusing, I'm not getting that, and then they explain it to me. No, see, this is from before when he did the thing, and that when I showed that, and I always say to them, well, as long as you're sitting next to every viewer giving that explanation, then go ahead and cut it that way. But people take stuff in this raw way. And most people don't really remember what they saw, and most people don't really they take in about 60% of what they're watching. So I think the context of Lucky Louie was that no show looked like it. No one knew why the fuck we would make a show that looks like that. And no one had ever seen a show that had a basic 3-camera family format where we would say cunt and fuck.
Laughs too, by the way. I went back and forth with the critic because the laughs were so booming that people thought, and this is one of the things I loved about you, is that you would never sweeten, and you did not, like a lot of times we would do a joke, it didn't work. Yeah. And you'd come to me and go, all right, what do you got? Let's try something else. We would try something else. Sometimes that would work, sometimes it wouldn't. But you always left it. If the joke didn't get a 9, you left it as a 6. You didn't change. Those were real laughs.
Well, a show is supposed to have a ebb and flow. Any scene in any show should have a quiet part, a loud part, explosions, parts where you come back a little bit. It's like watching a baseball game. You're watching a game develop. You're watching the show, you're watching a guy's at-bat develop. You're watching him work the count to 3-1, whatever it is. And then you know, wow, there's potential now because there's 3-1. Oh, fuck, he missed. So now now it's even potential. You're watching this, and then when the guy hits a home run, it's a huge victory. But the way people make TV now is that they just wanted to. I mean, what would it be like if every baseball game was just home runs?
Right.
Home runs. There, no, not even outs. Just till everybody gets tired and goes home.
Yeah.
It's boring. So to me, a show should have this natural feeling to it, which our show did. A scene would develop. Some parts would work, some parts wouldn't. Some parts would explode, and it would mean something. Instead of this, every TV show now just has exactly the same laugh for every joke. It's unwatchable to me.
It's awful.
But it is what TV has been. And had been when Lucky Louie came on. What was that, 2005?
It might have been 6 or 5 or 6. Yeah, it might have been 5.
So I'm going to say there was a good 25 years of TV made exactly the same way. How the fuck do you beat that? I mean, how do you come on and not be seen as just a jarring, strange, and intelligent people didn't understand it. Intelligent people said there's a laugh track. I mean, we even had us saying, like when they did in Happy Days, when Happy Days came on, there was a credibility problem for sitcoms because of the laugh track. They had overused the laugh track. So Gary Marshall on the Three's, not Three's Company, Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley, they had one of the characters say Happy Days was filmed before a live audience. They said it out loud. Yes. They didn't even print it. They said it out loud to make sure you knew that they're not fucking, that these laughs are real. We did the same thing. We felt like we needed to do the same thing.
Pam would do it, right?
Pamela did it. I did it. Did you ever do one?
I never did one, no.
And then we did that, and people would, fucking professional TV reviewers would watch the show, hear that with their ears, and they would write canned laughter.
You know what's and this is what they didn't see, is a lot of times before the show, you'd go out and talk to the audience, and I remember you saying something to the effect of, don't laugh if you don't think it's funny. If you think it's funny, laugh. If you don't think it's funny, don't laugh. You kind of told the crowd it was okay just to relax and react naturally, which to me just makes people feel comfortable to laugh.
Well, I still say that when I film stand-up for my show now, because a lot of my show has me doing stand-up at the club, at the Comedy Cellar, I tell that audience, because every audience thinks they're an actor in the show. But they're supposed, because you go to like Letterman or TV tapings, and they tell you to really go nuts. And I don't think anything sickens me more than manufactured enthusiasm. People when, this guy, woo, and they all go fucking bananas.
It's hard.
You're left out of it. I don't think anyone. I mean, like I remember when I did Hilarious. Well, the first time I did produced my own special was Chewed Up, and the producers said, "We want you to look like you're a rock star when you walk on that stage." And I said, "Why? I'm not. I'm a comedian, and I don't. When I'm watching something, I don't like Dane's special Vicious Circle when it comes out to and there's a stadium of people cheering him on. If you're a new viewer and you don't know who this guy is, you're like, well, I guess this is some party I missed because I just want to watch a person go on and earn their credibility from scratch. So I tell the audiences at the Comedy Cellar, don't have it. You're here because I'm doing a show for you. You're the audience. So make me earn it. Don't laugh if it's not funny.
I also feel embarrassed when they're too hyped up and I walk out. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to live up to this. And I know you were put up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
When they do a special, I went bananas when I just used shooting for HBO. Yeah. And they were having, we were doing Down and Dirty, and they were having the audiences laugh. Give us a laugh. And the crowd laughs.
That's the worst thing in the world. And I've had fights with directors about that they want to get laughs for editing purposes. If you can't edit a concert without those extra laughs, you're a fucking moron. It's hard. It's a challenge. Like, I've had moments where you're trying to make an edit in a special that's got a hiccup in it and you go find a piece of a laugh somewhere else to use or a piece of applause, and it never ends up working anyway. You end up just doing another cut. But when they do that to an audience, they make an audience feel like assholes, and they lose a lot of your credibility before you come out.
Because then they then the reaction becomes almost like when someone pokes you, you go, ow! It's almost like, they understand the rhythm of the punchline.
Yes.
And it's not fucking natural.
They're not listening anymore.
It's so encouraging to see that, because it's like, you didn't clean up, you didn't fucking change who you are, you're still the same fucking despicable wretch, and it's like, you're doing it, I would say your way, but you're doing what you want to do, and it's fucking working, man. And it's like, what inside of you gives you the fucking ability to do that and not just go, fuck this, I'm humiliated, I can't do it.
Well, it's every failure I've ever had, because I have failed hard, and I've been the center of negative attention, at least twice, with Pootie Tang and Lucky Louie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that enjoyed trashing that show.
Yeah, they did, right? It was fucking irritating.
And there was people that attacked it unnecessarily. I remember after we were on the air for 8 months, we had weathered the storm. There was this feeling like we had our bad reviews, we had our good reviews, and with that information, the American public is deciding to watch the show. We're growing. And then a reviewer here in New York, David Abancooley,
scumbag,
he didn't review the show. The Daily News, his paper, had reviewed it with another reviewer who said positive things about it. He didn't write a review and analyzing the show, which I think is what critical writing is supposed to be, analysis of art. I think it's a legitimate field to be an expert in television, watch TV shows, and then write an analysis. When critics are supposed to do this, write what the show is like, describe it from a professional point of view. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just a viewer, but this is what this show is. I don't think it works because of these reasons. Here's the historical context of it. It's much like this show, much like this other. Here's what I think they're trying to do. Here's where I think they fail. Right. But he didn't do that. He wrote, one of these reviewers believe that they should be affecting how TV's made, and they think they should, they like that power. So he wrote an article that the gist of it was HBO needs to cancel Lucky Louie, even though it only has 4 episodes left. And even though HBO doesn't need to cancel shows because they don't sell advertising, if you have a show that's ratings are poor, the advertisers are losing money. So you have to cancel it before it's finished. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
HBO is a subscription service, and it doesn't have a reason to cancel. There's by canceling a show. And our ratings were increasing. So David Bianculli wrote, they should cancel the show to make a statement that they know the show is a mistake. And he put people's fucking jobs on the line. He doesn't, you know what I mean? if you don't like a show, that's one thing. And if you write and trumpet your hatred for a show, you're welcome to do it. But there are people who like it, and there are people who are making it, and it's their life. Like, it was just, to me, it was like a way overstepping. Like, who the fuck needs to read this?
Didn't he get? He's not with the Daily News
I don't know.
anymore.
I have no idea.
I think he was fired. Or
might be a guy who I'd read something else of his that I would, but he took this.
No, I detest him. I hope he has a lump somewhere.
Reason to fucking write that, and I wrote him an email telling him that I objected and then I erased it. I've done that a lot. I've written a lot of angry emails and erased them just as a way to get it out. But anyway, you asked me something a long time ago. The point is, I've been the center of attention, of negative attention, a couple of times. I've had my worst nightmare come true, and I survived it. It didn't hurt me as badly as I thought it would. And indeed, I gained every time. Gained hugely. And I wouldn't trade those bad experiences for anything. So what that tells me is when I start trying something, the bad version of it, I could take it. Like, I have no fear because my worst fears have been realized, and it wasn't so bad. It would be like if you started boxing and you're like, I'm afraid to get punched in the face. Anybody is. And your first few times you get punched in the face, you're like, I don't hate this.
Right.
And I'm good at the boxing.
And I'm not dead.
I'm not dead. I don't hate it. And I'm succeeding sometimes. Why? This is what I'm going to do. You know what I mean?
And you have complete control here.
Oh, at FX is totally unbridled control. But it comes with good. I mean, it comes with credibility. I've had failures, but I've turned shit out. And by the way, the two failures that I've had have both, in my view, been vindicated by people watching. People still watch. Like,
I can't take care of myself, and I'm always just uncomfortable, just sweaty, and just like This is such a bummer. Like, it's my nightmare. It's my whole life. Best thing that ever happened to me was boxer briefs. I'm so happy about boxer briefs. It doesn't seem like a big deal to most people, but before boxer briefs, I was trapped between the two awful worlds of briefs and boxers. Briefs are for normal man with one leg here and one leg here. Two totally separate legs with a whole area between. And the briefs go up into this little valley, this little area, and they come down like this, and they can just tuck up in there and just hold them nicely. Because he's got all that air and negative space. But this is just all just mashed together, just upsetting, stingy, red, sweaty, just like, this looks like a pig's ass when I'm naked. Like, even my dick is curly, like the tail. Like, this is a pig's ass. And I'd pull briefs on and they just go, and they just grab my dick and balls. Like, here's your balls, you fat bastard. You like that? And they just dig up in there with this viciously sharp cotton and after a while, I'd have just this wad of just damp cloth, just a wad of wet cotton, just like the size of a tennis ball, like a huge wad of wet cotton. And boxers were worse because they just let everything flap around and touch each other and upset each other. I need everything to be segregated down here. Everything would stick and just get. And also, when I had boxers on, for some reason, I always had just water. Like a quarter cup of water just sloshing around my asshole all the time. Just, what is this water? It's hovering around my asshole. Defying gravity, just like an upside down glass of water in my ass. I gotta manage because I can't stop eating. I exercise a lot. I run 5 miles every other day to maintain this shit body that I have. Because the food, man, I eat like high octane crap. Like
Bill Gates, I was reading about Bill Gates, owner of Microsoft. He has $85 billion. Here's a guy who could lose $80 billion and still have 5 fucking billion. I would lose it really fast because I would do stupid shit with the money all the time. Like you know what you could do with $85 billion? You could buy every baseball team and make them all wear dresses for like $3 billion and still have 82 fucking billion. How do you not do that? How do you resist? I would do shit like that every day. One day I'd go out, buy all the pants in the world, every pair of pants, and just burn them. Fuck everybody. No more pants. Start over with making pants. They're all gone. I think all the time about shit I would do with $85 billion though, man. You could pull shit that would last years for that. I always think about what I would do. I was thinking about this all day today because I'm a loser. I got nothing to do. I was thinking about how I would open a chain of pet food stores all over the country, and it would be called Shit-Ass Pet Fuckers. That would be the name of it. But it would be like Walmart, just huge Shit-Ass Pet Fuckers, big yellow sign. People working in there are rude to you. You walk in there like, get the fuck out of here, you idiot. They don't even let you come in. And if you get past that, dog food costs $1 million for one can. That's the price. Fuck you. You don't like it? Fucking screw. It's shit-ass pet fuckers. And also, if you come in, we'll fuck your pet. That's the rule. You don't even have to bring it. We'll find it and fuck it. That's the way it's gonna be. Nobody will ever spend a dime at shit-ass pet fuckers, but I will keep it open for years and decades and never close. Keep expanding like we're doing great. Open a new one every day next to another one. Just surround every Starbucks with 5 shit-ass pet fuckers all facing each other. Just to enjoy people going, what the fuck? Why doesn't it close? Jesus. That place sucks, man. That is the worst pet store. I'm not paying $1 million for a can of dog food. That's clearly overpriced. And they fuck your pets. That's not appropriate to fuck people's pets. Come on. But they've been open for 50 years now. Damn those shit-ass pet fucker people.
Hey, this is interesting. The other day, a guy told me to suck a bag of dicks. That was interesting. I never heard that before. Total stranger told me to suck a bag of dicks. A whole bag of them. He was angry. He didn't just, suck a bag of dicks like a greeting. Oh, suck a bag of dicks to you too, sir. Thank you very much. Yes. It's a lovely day for sucking several bags of dicks. No, what happened was I cut him off in traffic. It was just one of those things where I had to get in and no one was in my car to judge me, and I just fucking, I just decided he's not me, so I don't care what happens to him, and I just cut him off. It's just a shitty thing to do. And it was bad because he was coming fast because he didn't imagine in a million years someone could be that big of an asshole. And so when I did it, he had to slam on his brakes and his dog went poof in the windshield. It was really very bad. Very bad. And the worst part is when you cut people off, they don't vanish. They're behind you now. So I'm looking back and he's like, fucking ass! He's so mad! And he keeps trying to get next to me because he just wants to see my fucking face. He's like, I gotta see this cocksucker now. I gotta see the fucking face of the piece of shit that just did that to me. And I keep cutting him off because I don't want him to see. I'm ashamed of what I did. Nope, you don't. Finally, we get to a red light, and I gotta face him. Only because there's a car in front of me, otherwise I would have fucking blown right through there. But there he is, just fucking furious. And I'm like, I know, it was awful. I shouldn't have done it. I'm not mad. I was wrong. Why would I be mad? And he's like, going, fuck you! And then he starts going like this because he wants me to roll my window down. Like, I'm supposed to take part in my own abuse during this argument. Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to miss this. What do you have to say about me, yes? How rude of me to shut out your anger with my... So I did. I rolled it down. I'm interested. And he goes, hey, asshole! And I'm like, yeah? He says, suck a bag of dicks!
Then he drove away. And I was kind of sad that he drove away because I had a lot of questions. But that concept of sucking a bag of dicks, it's just weird. Like, first of all, when you picture a bag of dicks, what do you see when you picture a bag of dicks? Is it like a plastic bag and they're all mushed in together like chicken parts and with a date written on it with Sharpie, keep it in the freezer? Or is it like a paper bag and they're sticking out like baguettes, kind of like you went shopping? Bringing home a bag of dicks for the kids? There you go, Susie, take a blue one, you know, like a little... I don't know, they were hanging in a window somewhere, give me 2 of those. And how do you suck a bag of dicks? What does he want me to do? Does he want me to take a bag of dicks and suck it? Like suck the side of the bag? Or does he want me to open the bag and suck each dick individually and throw the used ones in a bowl like edamame shells? Like that? Do I have to make them all come? You know, like how... You can't answer a kid's question. They don't accept any answer. A kid never goes, oh, thanks, I get it. They fucking never say that. They just keep coming. More questions. Why? Till you don't even know who the fuck you are anymore at the end of the conversation. It's an insane deconstruction. It's amazing. This is my daughter the other day. She's like, Papa, why can't we go outside? Well, because it's raining. Why? Well, water's coming out of the sky. Why? Because it was in a cloud. Why? Well, clouds form when there's vapor. Why? I don't know. I don't know any more things. Those are all the things I know. Why? Because I'm stupid, okay? I'm stupid. Why? Well, because I didn't pay attention in school, okay? I went to school, but I didn't listen in class. Why? Because I was high all the time. I smoked too much pot. Why? Because my parents gave me no guidance. They didn't give a shit. Why? Because they fucked in a car and had me, and they resented me for taking their youth. Why? Because they had bad morals. They just had no compass. Why? Because they had shitty parents. It just keeps going like that. Why? Because fuck it, we're alone in the universe. Nobody gives a shit about us. I'm going to stop here to be polite to you for a second. But this goes on for hours and hours, and it gets so weird and abstract at the end. It's like, why? Well, because some things are and some things are not. Why? Well, because things that are not can't be. Why? Because then nothing wouldn't be. You can't have fucking nothing isn't. Everything is. Why? Because if nothing wasn't, there'd be fucking all kinds of shit that we don't like, giant ants with top hats dancing around. There's no room for all that shit. Why? I'll fuck you. Eat your french fries, you little shit. God damn it.
You know, you have bad thoughts. Hopefully you do good things. Everybody has a competition in their brain of good thoughts and bad thoughts. Hopefully they win. The good thoughts win. For me, I always have both. I have like the thing I believe, the good thing. That's the thing I believe. And then there's this thing. I don't believe it, but it is there. It's always this. And then this thing. It's like a category of my brain that I call, of course, but maybe.
I'll give you an example. Okay, like of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus. I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe, maybe, if we all just do this for 1 year, we're done with nut allergies forever. No, of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Listen, you all clapped for dead kids with the nuts. For kids dying from nuts, you applauded. So you're in this with me now. Do you understand? You don't get to cherry pick. Those kids did nothing to you. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a fuck about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're shitty people, that we fuck others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the fucking roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit. That's all you can do with your kids. Just do your best. Nobody fucking knows right from wrong. When I was a kid, they just taught us things to try to keep us just shut the fuck up. Our morals were just shut the fuck up. Things like slow and steady wins the race. They taught us that. Slow and steady wins the race. Really? Does it win the race? You know what beats slow and steady? Fast and steady. Kicks the shit out of slow and steady. Slow and steady beats old and retarded. That's about it. Stop telling that to kids. A lot of what they teach kids is just to make them polite people, you know? Like they teach them that there's words you shouldn't use. There's bad words. Don't use the bad words. I can't teach my kids that because I do this for a living. But I didn't want my kids to be, you know, assholes. So I used to tell them, like, okay, look, there's no bad words. There's no bad words. All words are good, bad, nothing. But there's some people that get upset when you use certain words. So if you're going to use those words, look at the person first and try to guess if they're that kind of person. Sometimes you can offend somebody when you weren't even trying to. Like there's certain phrases, certain statements that if you're going to say them, you should say them without stopping in the middle. Certain things, if you're going to say them, don't clear your throat in the middle. Okay? You don't want to say things like, there are too many black people. suffering from discrimination. We need to stop the Jews from feeling excluded. I once fucked a baby, and then I fucked him again. So you want to get through that one. Otherwise, people get the wrong idea. They'll think you only fucked that baby once. Yeah. I live in New York City, and it's okay there. I live in a nice building. I never lived in a nice place before. When I was growing up, I had no money. I mean, my mom didn't. Didn't matter. I was a child. But I'm not used to it because it's nice. There's like a pretty courtyard with flowers and a fountain with little marble boys pissing. I don't know. What is it with fountains? Like, all fountain sculptors are pedophiles, basically. You can't get a fountain made without... Can you make me a fountain? Yes, I'll get started right away. Oh, yes! Yes! It's finished! And it's just little boys pissing on the face of a Greek god that looks like him a lot. It's piss on me forever! Anyway, there's one of those in the courtyard of my building. And my first week in the building about a year ago, I went down to the courtyard for the first time. And I didn't look too good, you know? It was a Sunday morning. That's my least presentable hour. There's a lot of, you know, just stains, just like, you know, food and me and whatever. And so I'm sitting there. So, shut up. Oh. Anyway, but so there I was. I'm sitting on the stone bench of this courtyard and feeling a little out of place. You know, there's these fancy doormen and stuff. And then there's this guy looking at me. I notice he's looking at me from across the courtyard. And he's all spiffy looking. He's got brown shoes and he's looking at me like, I could tell he was thinking I don't live in the building. He thinks I just wandered in off the street and sat in the courtyard. And I could tell he's thinking of coming over and dealing with me on his own. And I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, please do that. Yes, please, come on. And I'm trying to look even more gross. And I'm like pulling up my shirt. And then I see him go, oh, no, that's not gonna do at all. And he comes over to me. And I'm like, I'm so excited to have this thing. The confrontation where I'm not wrong at all. And he thinks I am. So he comes over, says, excuse me, do you live in this building? And I said, no. Because why not start there? I said, no. He goes, well, then what are you doing here? And I said, I just need to rest. I'm having a hard time. He says, this is private property. And I said, well, I don't really believe in that. You know, just the worst things I could say from his point of view is basically all the things I was saying. And he goes, well, if you don't leave, I'm gonna talk to the doorman. I was like, can I just stay like 5 more hours? So he's, no, and he goes over to the doorman. And I see him talking about me to the doorman like this. And then I see the doorman going, oh no, that guy lives here. That's okay. And the look on his face, it was just so, it was this beautiful cocktail of anger and confusion. It's like I had invented a new way to hurt somebody's feelings. That's how excited I was. Dry vagina. I used to think it was called a vagina. I did because I grew up in Boston. And I don't know if you are familiar with, people call it the Boston accent. It's not an accent. It's a whole city of people saying most words wrong. It's just a stupidity in a massive region. Because my teachers, they teach you to talk like that. My teacher, I had a teacher named Miss Doherty, but she thought her name was Mrs. Doherty. She mispronounced her own name. Miss Doherty. And she gave us sex ed. It was 5th grade. We had sex ed with Mrs. Doherty, and she's showing us the diagram. She's like, "This is a penis, and this is a vagina. Now, during intercourse, the man ejaculates sperm up into the vagina, and then later, a fucking baby comes out of the vagina. And sometimes it's retarded." This was the 70s. Teachers said retarded in Boston in the 70s. "My daughter's retarded." She used to tell us every day. "I have a daughter and she's mentally retarded. She's 35 and she lives in my house. She better be fucking retarded. I'm gonna stick her back up in my vagina." So I thought it was called a vagina until I was like 25. And I remember thinking it was like it's a vagina. It's like a thing that vagines, you know? Like you use it to I got a vagina in my driveway. I don't know, like, just got to vagina this new table I just made. That would make a nice table. Like you make a new table and then you take the 80 grid paper and you sand it, and then 120, and then you go, "All right, honey, get up there." And she just... It's like old, like one of those Danish tables, or like a, ooh, nice old Italian table. "This table is very smooth because my wife have a very juicy boozy, and she vagina the table. And my family, we do this for generations, and we vagina." All right.
But so this guy, we're sitting at the gate waiting, and then he said, actually, the delay isn't because of the weather, it's because the fuel gauge is broken on the plane.
Of course, it is a hunk of shit airline.
You know, so, but we had somebody...
They still have the ashtrays in the bathrooms.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why
equipment is old.
That's why I can't fly United. I had to once, and I saw, like... ashtrays they still didn't take out of the bathroom, which means, wow, this plane's pretty old. And then they had like a razor dispenser or something.
Yeah, you could actually get a razor blade.
You could shave.
Yes.
Right here in the plane, you can shave if you want. The miracle of modern flight.
Yes. Fucking nice.
Light up a lucky strike and join us on a transcontinental flight with no stops. It's the miracle.
As soon as I saw the old ashtrays, and it might not have been United, but it was some airline, it was a white knuckler all the way.
Yes, and the seats have that kind of 60s Mike Brady's den kind of pattern on them.
Like, oh, great. If the seats are old, how old is the engine, really?
Exactly.
You're going to tell me they replaced them. Great. That's still not going to give me comfort. But
contact.
Yeah, contact.
And the engines are made from space-age polymers.
Yes. So the guy says the fuel gauge is broken, but we filled up the tanks, we topped them off, and we had someone climb up and look in the tank.
That's what you do when you have a motorcycle.
And you don't want to know, yeah, exactly. You don't want to know that there's a dude, you want to think that something really weird and scientific is...
Right.
It's like a dude looked in the
Some guy
wing.
looked.
I hope that dude is not a fucking idiot. Like, now I have to hope...
Well, you hope he has depth perception.
Yeah.
And hoping he's not just hung over like, oh,
yeah, I checked.
Exactly. Did you check the wing? I fucking checked.
Of course
it.
I did. Shut up.
Fuck you. Fuck all those people on that
But since
plane.
they tell me there's a little like minor thing like that's broken, I'm like, what else is broken on the plane?
Yeah, exactly.
And usually when your car breaks down, it's not one thing. All of a sudden, everything is breaking at the same time.
But here's the thing: this was like a little time release capsule of terror that he left with us because he said this is no problem because we know we have more than enough fuel to get there.
Sure.
Because it's full. That would be more than we need, and we can even circle for a little while with that amount of fuel. So then we get to LaGuardia and we're circling and circling and circling, and then he says, "We've only got 20 minutes worth of fuel left." How the fuck does he know that when the fuel gauge is broken?
Yeah.
Yes.
He did a math problem in his head.
He did it. He did it through time. But look, he's saying he knows how many hours you can fly on a certain amount of fuel.
Yeah.
But if maybe there's more stress on the engine when it's going through bad weather.
Headwind.
If he's 5 minutes off, we're gonna drop from the sky like a set of fucking car keys.
Avianca did that.
Yeah.
Right into Long Island. Yeah.
So he goes. We got 20 minutes of fuel left. So and LaGuardia is trying to shut down, but it's minute to minute. So we're gonna go ahead and make an approach to LaGuardia Airport. And as we get closer, if it gets bad, we'll divert and use the last of our fuel to land in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We have enough fuel to do exactly that maneuver.
Oh, my God.
So then he starts coming in.
We'll divert to a place where there's lots of big open fields where innocent people won't be killed.
We will divert to the fucking to the Verrazano Narrows.
Ladies and gentlemen, one thing you won't have to worry about is fire. There is no fuel left in the tanks.
Yes, exactly.
We are doing 500 miles an hour, but you won't burn. Thank you.
But so he starts coming and we start dropping down into the clouds. And it's the ugliest fucking... I mean, the clouds are yellow and brown out the window.
It was nasty.
Well, you were listening to on thing, right?
Yeah, and so me and the guy next to me, the fucking two idiots, we put on the headphones and listen to the channel that you can listen to the tower. You can listen to your plane talking to the tower. And so he says, United 266, we're making an approach. And then we hear LaGuardia Tower say, do not land 266. The winds are far too heavy. It's not safe for landing. We're shutting down. Don't go divert right now.
How do you not pull the headphones off and just make believe you didn't hear it?
And the guy says we can't divert now. We have only 4 minutes tops of fuel left.
Holy!
So we have to come in.
Oh.
And the tower's saying it's not a good idea, but go ahead because what else are you going to do?
Give it a shot.
Give it a shot, Jim.
All right, hot shot.
And right at that moment, the stewardess comes up to you. Would you like to have some coffee?
No
clue. Smiling.
The flight attendants are all strapped in and invisible. They're nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
And I'm holding on like it's going to help. I'm holding on to my fucking window, like the edges of the window, I'm stamping my foot just uncontrollably.
Wow, you are fucking scared.
Well, because we keep dropping, and once the landing gear goes down, and there's all that drag on the plane, the thing is pitching and rolling and making impossible banks to the left and right. I mean, it's like a like a joke. And there's a woman behind us holding two children, screaming and sobbing, literally going, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" She's doing exactly that. That's the soundtrack for everyone on the plane.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
And she's got tears bursting like she's on a fucking train to fucking Auschwitz. No, I gotta die. She's saying her kids with her. She's saying we're gonna die to her kids. She's telling her kids are gonna die.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, and for the pilot sounding stressed. On the even more than I've heard black box recorders, and the pilot is sounds like he's smoking a cigarette till the second before death. He's like, "We only have 4 minutes of fuel. We can't divert." Like he sounded like that.
You probably thought you were watching a movie.
Oh no, it was like
wow, this is great.
Why wouldn't this be death?
If I wasn't on this plane, this would be great to listen to.
This is well directed.
Yeah, I love this movie.
I love the woman in the back seat. She was awesome. And we drop out of the clouds, and we see where we are. We are so close to those fucking Queens housing projects that are in the X shape.
Yep.
Like it's like the nightmares you have. If the wing were to tip over, we'd hit.
You're hitting it.
And we're going. I've gone over those housing projects thousands of times. I fly all the time. We're going so fucking fast. we're flying, like, phew, we're just shooting over Queens.
Man.
And even the most Texan tough guy passengers that were from Denver that were on that plane are like, whoa, hey! Everybody's like, oh, hey, oh. And it was so bad that when I, just to jump ahead for a second, when I got in the cab, the cabbie said, I saw that plane come in, that looked bad. Like, cabbies on the ground.
We're watching that one
because we're the only assholes that fucking landed.
No one else was coming in.
And so we're coming in, and the plane I'm convinced we're hitting the BQE. We're going to just, whatever it is, and we hit the ground so fucking hard, and my heart is racing, and I had tears in my eyes. Just involuntary.
Wow.
Just tears coming down my face, like, what are these? And the pilot says, ladies and gentlemen, you are free to turn on your cell phones and call your loved ones. And every single person with a phone the whole plane was chatter of like, you wouldn't believe what just happened to me, honey. I thought I was going to die. And I looked at my phone and I thought about calling my wife and I was like, fuck her. I didn't call her. Fuck her. I thought I was just about to die, but... Fuck.
You call like a friend.
I don't want to.
Dude, you never guess what the fuck just happened.
Because I know it would have been like, honey, I thought I was going to die. Oh, that's awful. Did you? What time are you getting in? Why are you so? Tomorrow morning, are you going to let me sleep in? Well, honey, I just thought.
Why wasn't that reported?
Fuck you. What the fuck?
Why didn't that story get out? That's obvious.
I don't. It was
really bad. He should be fired. He should be fucking fired.
It was really bad.
The
It was
pilot.
bad
The
judgment.
pilot?
I think what happened was that he had enough time to do what he thought but then the tower sent him through an approach that took longer than he expected.
Longer. It's just what happened with Avianca. They were flying around, and that was a language barrier too. They didn't declare an emergency. They declared something that was just under an emergency.
Yeah.
So they kept diverting them from airport to airport and making them circle. And the plane ran out of fucking gas.
Yep.
And the people that survived the crash were like, all of a sudden you hear this silence. And all you hear is the wind wishing over the wings. Whoosh, whoosh, no more. Whoo. And you know how the noise of the engines kind of cancels out noise in the cabin?
Yeah, no.
You hear everything.
Yeah.
You hear the people in the back fucking row if you're in first class.
Yeah.
And just... And they crashed into the woods.
Yep.
No fire, no explosion. Just cracking
and
trees and fucking, you know. A lot of people lived because of that. Right on, kind of near where I live.
No, when?
When you run out of fuel
about 10, 12,
maybe it's not like when you run out of gas on a
15.
car. When you run out of gas on a car, you can actually like use the starter motor to get it a little further. You can kind of keep sputtering. But on a plane, it's just it's
and
gone.
You can stop and get the fuck out, no matter where you are in a car.
How did the dudes? Because he told us that he couldn't be sure how much fuel there was on the plane before we left.
Right.
He said, "We know the gauges are wrong, but we're going to go anyway because we've seen the gas."
So then you better. Well, then you know something.
But when you get that close, you go, "Let's fucking land now."
You might even be able to justify that if you're going from point A to point B without any problems.
That's
if
fine.
you're going into weather where you're going to have to circle.
And when you're talking about, we have 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
4 minutes left.
How fast is that?
1
4
minute
minutes
off, you're dead, and he has no gauge.
That 4 minutes is not 4 minutes in a dentist chair.
Yeah.
That 4 minutes is 4 minutes on a roller coaster.
See, all of our pilots now, all of our pilots are Vietnam combat tested pilots, but they're also fucked up Vietnam vets that kind of don't give a shit. They see some shit. Yeah.
They just think you're a bunch of faggots whining on the back of the
all
plane.
you people that call me a baby killer, we're going in.
Yeah.
It was 1990.
Avianca.
That's
fucking awful.
That's a great.
That is a harrowing experience. Worst flight ever for you, I guess, right?
Easily. I mean, I'm a fucking platinum and 15 different airlines. I fly
1,000,000 miles
constantly.
probably. Yeah.
I fly through bad weather all the. I sleep through it. I don't give a shit. I actually have often turned to people around me on planes that look scared and said, "I've seen this. This is nothing. Don't worry. I don't care. I like flying." The lady behind me, by the way, I kept yelling back, "We're okay!" Like I kept yelling at her. I was
We're
yelling
gonna
at
be
myself.
okay.
We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
Say, I'd like to be a better person. I would. I'd like to be a better person. And I think I'm getting worse as a person. Because as you get older, you start finding out, like, let me give you an example before I rented a car a couple of weeks ago in Los Angeles, had the car for a few days, and then when I went home, I had to drop the car at the rental place. You know, you gotta go to the rental place that's off the airport, give them the car, give them your thing with the mileage, you gotta get on a bus, and then go to your terminal and check in. I was late, and I was worried about missing my flight, so I knew I had no time to do any of that. So I never did this before. I just drove my car right to the terminal and just left it there. And I got on the plane. And once I was on the plane and I had a little moment, I called Hertz and I said, hey, listen, your car is sitting out in front of Terminal 4 and the keys are in it. So that's where it is. And the guy was like, you can't do that. You have to return it to this location and then get... And I go, well, I didn't do that already. And now I'm leaving California. So if you want your car, you need to go to that place where it is. And he was like, oh, Jesus, man. All right, we'll get it. And that was the end of it. And I realized I could do this every time. Every time I rent a car, because of course they want you to do all that shit. But if you don't, they still want the car back. They're gonna send a dude. You could drive a car till you don't want it. Just get out of it while it's moving and just walk away. Well, I don't feel like being in that car any longer. Just call Hertz. Hi, your car is drifting into the intersection of 28th and Broadway. If you're interested, it's now your problem. But see, this is a terrible realization. Because you should act in a way that if everybody acted that way, things would work out. You should, because it would be mayhem if everybody was like that. And most people kind of don't care. Most people are very selfish. Most people don't give a shit what happens as long as they get to do their favorite thing. People don't even want to back off from their favorite thing. They won't even do their second favorite thing. Like, you ever seen somebody like they're at an intersection and they want to make a left, but they're in the all the way right lane because they messed up. So now okay, here's the guy. He's in the right lane and there's a lot of cars, like 6th Avenue, like a lot of cars, and he wants to make that left. So what does he do? He just does it anyway. He just goes ahead and he just shoves his car through everybody's life without any... And everybody's honking and outraged, and you always see the guy go, I have to. There's no other possible thing I could do. What else could I do except go up one more block and then go left and take 4 seconds? That's not my favorite way, though. That only meets 99% of my criteria. But I'm selfish. I would like to be a better person because I got kids, and I want to, pass on a better. But sometimes it's not clear what the right thing is to do. Like one time, I threw a candy wrapper on the street, and I didn't do it like yeah. I just take that shit straight. I did it because I was like shaking. I wanted the candy. Anyway, I was with a friend who said to me, you just littered on the street. Don't you care about the environment? And I thought about it and I said, you know what? This isn't the environment. This is New York City. This is not the environment. This is where people live. New York City is not the environment. New York City is a giant piece of litter. It's like the giantest, next to Mexico City, the shittiest piece of litter in the world. Just a pussy, runny, smoking, stinking piece of litter. So if you have a piece of litter, what are you supposed to do with it? You should throw it on the pile of litter. Because if you don't, if you put it in a receptacle, then it gets collected, and it gets taken to a dump in a landfill, and then or it goes on a boat, and it goes out and gets dumped in the ocean, and some dolphin wears it as a hat on its face. For 10 years, this hat that never dissolves on its face. Oh. Jesus. I mean, everything that we introduce to the world is shitty. Meaning white people. Because I really think that white people are from like another planet. Because when we came to America, it was so nice. It was just Indians, and they weren't even Indians. We called them that by accident, and we still call them that. Like we knew in a month that it wasn't Indians, but we just don't give a shit. We never correct it. We came here, they're like, hi, and we're like, hey, you're Indians, right? And they're like, no. No, this is India, right? No, it's not, it's totally other place. You're not Indians? No. Ah, you're Indians. You're Indians for hundreds of years after. We ruined everything here. This was it was just coast to coast, just green and brown and beautiful. And all the humans were just walking around with painted faces, just walking. And they'd be like, ooh, that looks yummy. And then they just eat from the ground. And then they'd sleep on the grass. And they'd wake up and they'd fuck. And then they'd go for a swim and do a little dance. That was the whole continent, was just folks doing that. I mean, there was people in Mexico cutting off kids' heads and rolling them down the pyramid stairs. But that's always going on. What are you gonna, you can't do a whole lot about that. But I think we came from another planet, and the reason is because we don't like it here. I mean, why, if we're from here, if we belong on Earth, why aren't we comfortable on Earth at all? We need nice, smooth surfaces and right angles, and we need it to be cool and not too hot, just a little, that's just perfect. Like, why wouldn't, when it's hot, why wouldn't we just, yeah, fuck it? Why wouldn't we be like that if we belong here? And it's weird because people that aren't, whatever you call there's environmentalists, and then there's people who are whatever, they just hate environmentalists. But that's what people get angry at environmentalists, because they think they're slowing down the economy and creating restrictions. And a lot of these people are Christian. A lot of these people are very devout Christians. And that's such a confusing thing to me, that if you believe that God gave you the earth, that God created the earth for you, why would you not have to look after it? Why would you not think that when he came back, he wouldn't go, what the fuck did you do? I gave this to you, motherfucker. Are you crazy? The polar bears are brown. What did you do to the polar bears? Did you shit all over every polar bear? Who did this? Who spilled this shit? Who spilled this? Come over. Did you fucking spill this? What is that? It's oil. It's just some oil. I didn't mean to spill. Well, why did you take it out of the fucking ground? Because I wanted to go faster. I'm not fast enough. And I was cold. What the fuck do you mean cold? I gave you everything you needed, you piece of shit. Well, because jobs. What is a job? Explain to me, what's a fucking job? You work at a place, and when people call when their game doesn't work, and you help them figure it out. What do you do that for? For money. What do you need money for? Food. Just eat the shit on the floor. I left shit all over the floor. Fucking corn and wheat and shit. Ground it up, make some bread. What are you doing? Yeah, but it doesn't have like bacon around it, and like I like when it has like bacon on it and
You know what's weird is that there was a guy in my hometown, he might still be there, and we called him Florida Steve.
Why did you call him?
That was his, he was a guy, a little kind of oldish man that walked around town, just walked around, and kids would go up to him, and he'd go, how you doing? He'd just walk up to you, hey, hot day, huh? It's hot. It was a routine. It was like Abbott and Costello.
Was he retarded in any way?
Yeah,
or?
I think he was sort of retarded. Yeah. Hot day, right? Hot day. And you go, yeah, it's hot. And he goes, hotter in Florida, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty hot in Florida. He would guide you to what's it like? What's it like down in Florida?
It's nice. Girls down there. What are the girls like down there?
Oh shit!
Well, they got nice girls in Florida. They got big tits. You go, yeah, they got big tits, Steve. And then he'd put his hand in his pocket and he'd just start jacking off right in front of you. Big bottoms, big. And it was just a routine. It was like Abbott and Costello. And then at one point you'd go, "Hey, what are you doing down there in your pants?" And you'd go, "Get out of here! I'll cut you to ribbons. You won't say that when the bullets fly." And he'd start threatening you, and then you'd walk away.
I think every town's got one of them. This guy called Crazy John, and he used to be behind John's Bargain Store. I don't know if his name was John, but we just called him Crazy John
because he was behind John's
Bargain Store. And he had a shopping cart with a big...
It's like naming a stray dog.
Yeah. It's just we'll name him after the bargain store. Jesus. I know. And he would collect plastic bags. Mm-hmm. And he'd come up to you and just go, "Plastic bag? Plastic bag? Plastic bag?" And you're like, "I haven't seen any plastic bags, John." Okay. And then he'd go up to the dumpster. And he had one of those giant... those big plastic sunflowers people put in their lawns that spin around in the wind.
Sure.
He had that on his shopping cart, and he'd push it around looking for plastic bags. Crazy John.
Remember Eddie at WNEW?
Oh yeah, another.
Eddie worked at NEW when we were over there, and his whole job was to empty the garbage from offices.
Yeah,
and he loved tits.
Yeah.
Where he would uncomfortably stare at tits.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he had no switch where it's like, you shouldn't do that.
You take a glimpse.
Because you go, "I like that girl. She was pretty cute. It's like, I like that." And meanwhile, he's just looking at her tits, and the fucking girl's all creeped out.
I brought him to somehow the guys talked me into take him out for lunch, so I took him to the Brooklyn Diner, and the waitress had a nice tits.
Oh, no.
It was so awkward.
Jesus.
We could barely eat lunch because Eddie just had to stare at tits the entire time.
Horniness plus retardation is a
bad combination.
Bad.
There's no switch. They just like...
Yeah. What do you got in it? Brooke Hogan?
I live in New York City, and it's okay there. I live in a nice building. I never lived in a nice place before. When I was growing up, I had no money. My mom didn't. Didn't matter. I was a child. But I'm not used to it because it's nice. There's like a pretty courtyard with flowers and a fountain with little marble boys pissing. I don't know. What is it with fountains? Like, all fountain sculptors are pedophiles, basically. You can't get a fountain made without... Can you make me a fountain? Yes, I'll get started right away. Oh, yes! Yes! It's finished! And it's just little boys pissing on the face of a Greek god that looks like him a lot. It's piss on me forever! Anyway, there's one of those in the courtyard of my building. And my first week in the building about a year ago, I went down to the courtyard for the first time. And I didn't look too good, It was a Sunday morning. That's my least presentable hour. There's a lot of, just stains, just like, food and me and whatever. And so I'm sitting there. So, shut up. Oh. Anyway, so there I was. I'm sitting on the stone bench of this courtyard and feeling a little out of place. There's these fancy doormen and stuff. And then there's this guy looking at me. I notice he's looking at me from across the courtyard. And he's all spiffy looking. He's got brown shoes and he's looking at me like, I could tell he was thinking I don't live in the building. He thinks I just wandered in off the street and sat in the courtyard. I could tell he's thinking of coming over and dealing with me on his own. And I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, please do that. Yes, please, come on. And I'm trying to look even more gross. And I'm like pulling up my shirt. And then I see him go, oh, no, that's not going to do at all. And he comes over to me. And I'm like, I'm so excited to have this thing. The confrontation where I'm not wrong at all. And he thinks I am. So he comes over, says, excuse me, do you live in this building? And I said, no.
Because why not start there?
I said, no. He goes, well, then what are you doing here? And I said, I just need to rest. I'm having a hard time. He says, this is private property. And I said, well, I don't really believe in that.
You know, just the worst things I could say from his point of view is basically all the things I was saying.
And he goes, well, if you don't leave, I'm going to talk to the doorman. I was like, can I just stay like 5 more hours? So he's, no. And he goes over to the doorman. And I see him talking about me to the doorman like this. And then I see the doorman going, oh, no, that guy lives here. That's okay. And the look on his face, it was just so, it was this beautiful cocktail of anger and confusion. It's like I had invented a new way to hurt somebody's feelings. That's how excited I was.